Hey YouTube, I want to start doing videos of the encounters that I've had in my past dealing with shadow people or dealing with sleep paralysis. I really don't know what it is, but ever since I was little, I always used to have crazy dreams. Like I swear they were real and things like that, and I still remember quite a few of them. The first encounter that I remember, I was living in my grandparents' house with my aunts and my uncles. I was growing up with them actually. My mom and my stepfather was overseas, and I was sleeping in my aunt's room when she wasn't there. And I was asleep one night, and something woke me up. And I remember my grandmother always gave me this quilt. It was this heavy, heavy quilt that I just loved it. But I remember laying under the quilt and something was in the corner of the room and it was dark. And I knew it was something there, but I didn't know what it was. And I was frozen with fear. I was literally frozen with fear. And so I'm looking in the corner and I'm just so scared. I see it kind of start coming towards me, and I just hurry up and get under the quilt, and that's how I just remember the quilt to this day. Got under it, and I'd never had an encounter that I remember when I was younger. So this fast forwards to I was about maybe 9 or 10, and my mother, she's very religious, and does everything with the Bible open. And she's always praying, always anointing, always doing this, always doing that. And some nights I would wake up and she's frantically praying over the room in my bedroom. And I'll just be like, Mom, what are you doing? And she'll, praying and, putting the cross on my forehead with anointing oil. And I just be like, okay, whatever. Like I didn't know really what she was doing. And so one night, my mom told me that she seen a figure walk through the balcony, through the window, and go directly past her. She was in the living room. Her and my stepfather got into an argument, and she slept on the couch. My mom's very stubborn, but she walked from the balcony the shadow, I'm sorry, walked from the balcony past her and went directly down the hall. At the end of the hall was me and my sister's bedroom. And when she looked, she said she seen the figure go straight through to my room. And that's why she would always, every time we would see her anointing the room or anointing the house and praying, that's why she would always see those figures. I never knew. So my grown experiences, this is where it gets kind of scary. My first experience was in 2010. It was November 2010. I had gotten out of a relationship, and my cousin, she told me to stay at her house for a little bit till I, got back on my feet. And I was sleeping on her couch, and I felt safe at her house because she had like bars, like the little gated. When you go to your house, you open the metal gate with a key, and then you have to use a key to open the house door. That's the type of setting she had. So I was asleep in the living room on the couch, and my cousin, she was in her room, and I was laying on my back. I no longer, well, like if I'm asleep, I'll sleep on my side or I'll sleep on my tummy, but like laying down on my back, like is no go, never after this. But I I'm laying on the couch and I'm asleep, and I'm laying down and I have my hands behind my head. You know how when you're just kind of like relaxing on the couch, laying with your feet crossed, propped up on the arm of the couch. So I drifted off to sleep, and there was a TV cat corner, and it was It was on some show, and I had drifted off to sleep. Now the crazy thing is, I had my cousin Desiree and my cousin Shaquita. They were there, and Desiree was asleep. Desiree was asleep in her room, and my cousin Shaquita, I'm gonna call her Quita. That's what we call her. My cousin Quita, she was in the other room, and Quita, she works for a bank, so she gets up and works early in the morning, and she takes her daughter to school. So she was getting ready to take her daughter to school, and she woke me up, and she was like, "Hey, lock the gate." So I was like, "Okay." So I get up and I lock the gate. I locked. She left. I locked the gate. My cousin Desiree is in the room sleep. So I'm laying down, and my cousin Desiree comes to me, and she taps me, and she was like, "Hey, I'm about to go. Lock the gate." So I was like, "Where are you going?" She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get my guy friend or whatever. He's coming over or whatever for a little bit." I was just like, "Oh, okay, okay, whatever." So I get up, and did I lock the gate? Yeah, I get up and I lock. Okay, I get up and I lock the gate. So now it's just me in the house, and the gate's locked, and I go back to sleep. So I hear banging on the gate, and I'm kind of, how when you're real tired and you're kind of just coming to, and so I heard my cousin say, "Britt, open the door." And so I was like, "Why don't you open it? I'm asleep." And she was like really, like, open the door. So I got pissed off, and I just got up. I was like, "Ugh, everybody keeps telling me to freaking lock the gate." So I get up and I open the door, and I was like, "Man, get your cousin," or whatever. Like when we get frustrated, we'll say stuff like that. "Get your cousin." And so my cousin was like, "Who are you talking to?" I was like, "Desiree." She was like, "Where's Desiree's car?" I was like, "I don't know." And so I lay back down. So Quita went to go talk to Desiree, and she came back. She was like, "Brittany, who was you talking to?" And I was like, "Desiree." And she was like, "No, who are you really talking to?" And I'm like, "Desiree, why do y'all keep, like, waking me up?" So she was like, "Desiree is gone. Nobody's here." That freaked me out. I was just like, "Okay, well, that's kind of crazy." And so she was like, "Okay, well, anyways, I'm about to get ready, and I'm gonna go back to work." I said, "Okay, cool." So she goes back to work. I did not lock the gate. I just was like, "Man, forget it." I went back to sleep. So I'm laying down back on my back, and I'm falling back asleep. I feel a heaviness on my toes. It's a heaviness starting on my feet, and I can slowly feel it coming up to my legs to my kneecap, and then I feel it on my thighs, and as soon as